Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
My peace of mind, 'cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. When my soul
Ask for forgiveness later, Ginny. Good morning. 9:14 right here on the heart of the 618, and Ginny Mueller back in studio for another edition of Pond-O-Rama Talk as we're gearing up for June the 22nd and 23rd. How are we feeling?
We're feeling great. Thank you for having me again and talking about our wonderful tour that we have this year.
So we got to talk about this. You are on tour this year.
I am.
And how is everything going preparation-wise?
Oh my, there is never enough time to get things done in the garden. Are you kidding me? So yeah, I'm going a little crazy.
So how long does it take to really prepare for something like this? For maybe folks that don't have a true understanding, for me, I would think at least right when the season starts.
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. We start very early, spring. We can't wait to see what comes up and all the things that weren't supposed to come up, all the weeds that come up. So all of our hosts are really working from the time, forever.
Yeah.
I mean, they work all season long to get their gardens ready. And, of course, they know early in the year when it's snow on the ground that they will be on tour in June. It's a lot to think about.
Well, I wanted to ask you that, too, because with all the cicadas that came into play this year, were some water gardens and maybe some animals in those gardens, like frogs and fish, able to get some cicada nutrients?
I don't know if they did or not. I know that we had a lot of cicadas, a lot of cicadas on the porch on the house. They were driving me nuts. But I think they've kind of subsided now. Yes, all of our ponds have fish and frogs and all the things that we don't want to have in there as well.
Well, this is set for June 22nd through the 23rd, and you were right away from a quarter of a century in Pond-O-Rama now.
Yeah.
24 years.
24 years, yes. This is our 24th year of the tour from the St. Louis Water Garden Society. We also partner with St. Louis Home and Lifestyle magazine. So this year we have 24 gardens on tour. 12 of them are on Saturday and 12 are on Sunday. So it's a lot to see in one day. So people pick and choose. But this year, because our tour booklets have made some terrific changes, and it's $20 for both days. And you can go and see as many gardens as you want. But this year what we did is we put QR codes. We color coordinated so that, the Saturday folks are 1 through 12 and the Sunday folks are A through L. And then the ticket booklets actually have QR codes. So there's a big map that shows you where all those gardens are. And then this year we did something really cool and we put pictures.
I love it.
All of our gardens.
That's what I was looking at. The layout's beautiful on this.
Thank you. It's a terrific book. It gives you, the legends and features of each of the gardens. It gives the address, if it's designed or construction by the homeowner or a contractor, a description, and there are some written directions for those that aren't sure about the QR code. But the QR code will take you from wherever you were located directly to that location. Now, I will say the pictures are fabulous, but they don't really do the gardens justice because there's so many. I mean, you just can't do that.
Well, and too, I mean, this is a great opportunity because I'm reading yours, and it's funny. I put your commercial together last year. Charles did it this year, but I've always said that this was my favorite picture. My favorite garden was, and I didn't realize it was yours with the gazebo. It's beautiful, and that waterfall is wonderful. But I'm looking here, and I'm just looking at the yard is filled with hydrangeas, ferns, hostas, perennials. And I was going to ask you because I'm currently getting everything set up. You'd be proud of me. It's starting to look pretty. We're getting some stuff. My Mexican sunflowers are growing, and lime's so cool. But my hydrangea, I'm having some problems with this year. And it's not really. It took a little bit to start really growing, and now we're at a point where it's starting to, but maybe it's not. And you guys have some pretty good looking hydrangeas. It's time for me to ask you some questions, and we can do that
Sure.
on tour.
Absolutely, and that's one of the really cool things.
Yeah.
So many of our hosts are master gardeners, and so some people have native, that some people have traditional. Everybody has something different, and I think that even if people aren't looking to build a pond, it just gives you so many ideas with plants. And like someone came the other day and they said, a garden isn't a garden unless it has a little water feature. And
That's what I like that.
and I said, it doesn't have to be a massive feature that takes up an entire yard. It could be as simple as a water fountain or a little bubbler, on a rock or something. It just gives that sound, the soothingness, the tranquility. And it's a great time for people to just stroll around and get ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, our hosts are fantastic. And we have 200 members for the society.
Is that number up?
Well, it keeps going up every year. And I think our tour, the people that come to this tour, I mean, I've gotten calls from Indiana. They come from well over many in Illinois as well as Indiana, other areas. So we get a lot of people from all over, not just the metro area.
It's good to hear that, though, because last year I remember you saying you were kind of looking for some more folks to join, but to have 200, that's a pretty strong number.
Oh, yeah, it's great. Now, a lot of people are out of town and they don't come to our meetings, but we get that. But our meetings are interesting, and there's always something to learn. Whether it be about plants or fish. Actually, next week on Tuesday, we have a gentleman that will be talking about perennials in your garden.
That's
and
really
the new
cool.
perennials. So, there's so many new things that come out. Our advertisers are fantastic. They support us throughout the season. So, it's always there's always something new to learn.
Well, I think this is so much different than a home show, too, and a garden show. Because, let's be honest, you go to the show and you're getting sold the entire time you walk in the door. You think this person's ready to help you, but that happened to me. I was at a home show, and I'm not going to say which one because it was a great experience, and I was so glad to broadcast, but I went up and talked to a booth, and all of a sudden, I put my number down because I got roped in,
Oh,
and
sure.
all of a sudden, my phone keeps saying spam caller, spam caller. So I finally answered. It's the company. I said, I hate to tell you this, but you're coming back as fraud and spam. I don't want to work with you. But here, it's a more laid back where people are actually helping you. It's not directing you to a sale. It's just saying, here's what we went through in our garden. We had a little bit of a problem here. We'll help you.
Right, and that's the whole purpose of our tour, which, we print 900 tickets. So we have a lot of people. Now, granted, most of our homeowners will have anywhere from 100 to 200 to 300 people show up in their garden over that period of 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But we're not selling anything for sure. But everybody's passionate about their pond, whether it be a tiny little pond or a massive one. Now, we have so many varieties, and it appeals to everybody. We have, folks that have beautiful waterfalls. Some are not even ponds; they're just, pondless waterfalls.
Yeah.
And but everybody works hard to make their gardens look wonderful, and they want to share that. Their trials and tribulations as well as their successes. And we've all had them. I mean, we have all had those issues.
Well, and I think that's another thing, too, is sometimes I think you see a homeowner, and it happens all the time, they really put everything they have into their yard for 1 year. And then the next year, or maybe the year that follows, something happens and it doesn't take, and they kind of get deflated. But it's good to know that, hey, that's just part of this cycle,
It is very much part of the cycle. As a matter of fact, somebody was, all of the hosts were picking up, we have feather flags that indicate the host's location. So it'll say Pond-O-Rama, and it's cool. So all the hosts were picking up their feather flags and their host gifts, and somebody said, oh my gosh, my pump, and my pond, it's starting and stopping and starting and stopping, and I think I have to get a new pump.
No.
And somebody else said, I just cleaned the pond, and it was fantastic, and it looked great, and I'm so excited. And I don't know if it was a heron or something else, all the fish were wiped out.
Oh
And
no!
that is devastating. And I have to tell you, I had the same issue.
Now, do you have? And I was going to ask you about this. Do you guys have a way to prevent those type of natural predators? Because I've seen that they, like, some folks can maybe use some type of, like, to keep raccoons out. They have some type of wire, but it takes away from the aesthetical appeal of the garden.
Right. Well, it depends on the predator. It really depends on the predator. This year, I'm very proud of my fish, and I had 35 fish. So over the winter, what I do, because I have a very large pond that's about 5 feet deep and a top pond,
wow.
and the top pond and a waterfall and a stream and all that. So anyway, we cage the fish to protect them. We build a cage, and then we net the whole pond because I have a gazillion trees, and the leaves are not
friendly.
that's not friendly to the pond. So anyway, so I was so proud of the fact that my 35 fish survived the winter, which I keep my pump running so they have aeration and stuff. So we unnetted the pond and uncaged the fish in the late week of April. The next morning, I had no fish. Thanks to a mink who somehow managed to, I guess, not eat one fish, but managed to eat all 35 of them and left parts everywhere. And it truly is devastating.
It is.
And, especially when you care for them and you've had them for years and they're big and they're beautiful and you just think, oh my gosh, what's going on? And we have everybody has had the same issues, or they've left water running and they haven't had the chlorine in it, or to dechlorinate, and so all of a sudden it overflows, and then we have fish that are floating. So, we've all had those trials and tribulations. The predators, we tried it, I've sprinkled all kinds of stuff around. I'm going to try some little, blinky things.
Yeah.
But it's just odd because last year they were fine and happy. So fortunately, I had friends. I have 16 fish now in my pond that are happily swimming. So
It's not, but that's a good point too, because you didn't get deflated about it. You got to adapt to it. It happens. But you had 35 fish that obviously have a history in your pond that you come to know a little bit and enjoy.
Sure.
You have a connection to them.
Oh yeah, and I walk down my steps and I say, "Hey boys," and and sprinkle some food, and they all come running. You can basically pet them if you wish. But,
Did they ever catch that mink?
No, and I would love. I think everybody should wear one. Catch it, wear it. I don't care what you do with it, but they're not our friends. The same way with herons and raccoons and all of those predators. But we all live near woods. We have all this, going on. So this is a great tour. Like I said, there's 24 on tour this year, June 22nd and 23rd from 9 to 5. Tickets they can get from our website, slwgs.org. Probably will stop mailing the tickets on the 17th. Only from the standpoint, the mail, we want to make sure you get them. Plus, we have 28 retailers throughout the whole metro area that are, here you go.
Oh,
that are fantastic.
Thank you.
There's four in Illinois, and there's some in Florissant, there's some in Kirkwood, West County, South County.
That's wonderful.
Chesterfield, and there's 4 over in Illinois.
So, this is wonderful. Waldbot Nursery, Rick's Ace Hardware, Chilili, which is featured on the tour, by the way, this year. That's always beautiful.
Oh, it is. It's a great garden center.
Chesterfield Valley Nursery, Garden Heights Nursery, Greenscape Gardens, Hearttake Nursery, Hillerman Nursery, Maypop Coffee and Garden Shop, OK Hatchery, Plant Haven Farms, Ponds. Oh, they have 3 locations.
Yes.
One in Oakville, Missouri, one in O'Fallon, and one in Olivet. You can Google that to find the location nearest you to pick up your tickets there. Ponds Plus Garden Center, Rolling Ridge Nursery, Stims Florist, Sugar Creek Gardens, Schmidl's Nursery, Timberwinds Nursery, Thies Farm, Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all of your flora. Anyway,
They're wonderful.
St. Louis, O'Fallon, Ladue, and in Illinois you got Creekside Gardens in Collinsville, of course, Joe's Market Basket, a staple in Edwardsville, Effinger Garden Center in Belleville, and then Sandy's Back Porch Garden Center in Belleville. You guys spread the map.
And they are fantastic.
Do you need this? Thank you.
And they're fantastic to support us. And they have supported us for many, many, many years. which is great.
Well, I wanted to point something out too, and you know more about this than I do, but it's great to know that there's such a strong community of local garden centers and local nurseries, because you can tell the difference when you walk into a Home Depot or a Lowe's and
Right.
see their plants that may or may not have that fungus on it that you're bringing back to your garden.
Sure.
And it happens, but when you go to a trusted and true local nursery, you know that you're getting the right product.
Right, and they're all very supportive.
Yeah.
And they sell our tickets. So I mean, they've been doing it for many, many years, which is great. And of course we promote them as well to our membership, and many of them come and speak at our meetings. So you get to especially, about plants and fish, and
Yeah.
so there's always something to learn. But one of the things this tour does too, that I wanted to mention, is the reason we have the tour is our society has been in existence for 34 years.
Yeah, that's right.
So I mean, it's next year
Yeah.
will be a bigger deal because it'll be our 25th year.
In 35. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about that this year. I'm like, when's the 10?
Yeah, it's going to be a big deal. So anyway, but every Saturday morning at 9:00, the people some of our members are down at the Jewel Box, maintaining the lily ponds, and so they've been planting from May until October to do all the plantings, and that's our civic project and our gift to the city of St. Louis every year, which is fantastic.
Jenny, can I tell you were a pro? She saw that I was texting on my phone because I had a work note come in, and you just took that and ran with it. And Jenny, after all the years of you doing this, it's a lot of work to keep getting your garden ready and keep getting all this organized with the team. But why do you do it?
Well, for one thing, I love gardening.
Good answer.
I mean, I love gardening. I love my pond, and the fish and the flowers, and it makes me happy. It's a great place for me in my home, and I love it. But I also really, really enjoy people. Mm-hmm. And so the people that come to our tours are the best. I mean, I don't care if it's pouring down rain or what. It does not stop the gardeners from coming on a tour. And I think people appreciate that, especially if, like you have a new home, you're starting to plant, you start appreciating, whoa, these people have a lot of flowers. Now, how am I going to do what I'm doing?
Yep. Because you think, well, I'll just plant a bush here, I'll plant that there, and then all of a sudden you get to do it, and you're like, wait a minute, that's not going to look right here, and this has got to grow in this certain radius.
Sure.
You don't want to compare. I mean, there's a lot of questions.
Oh, yeah, and that's a trial and error. I mean, many of our hosts are master gardeners. I am not a master gardener. It's a tried and true. I see a plant. I love that. Looks really cool. And you bring it home, and then you think, where am I going to plant it? I'll find a spot.
Yeah.
And so it's trial and error, and the birds, they kind of take things and they spread their love, in the garden. And so things come up voluntarily, which is great. Mm-hmm. So I think, we learn from each other. And I do enjoy very, very much, the people I enjoy. Our members are the best ever. And the host, they're opening their private homes to the public. And when, it was funny because we do have a lot of new hosts this year. So they've never been on the tour
Are they nervous?
before. Well, they were a little concerned. And so
You were just great.
So they're a little concerned. But they said, many garden tours, you have maybe 20, 30 people stroll through your garden. It's not a big deal. When you have 100, and so one of the gentlemen the other day said, now, how many should I expect? And he said about 100 or so. And everybody laughed at the table and said, you better up that figure because you're new on tour and it'll probably be 200 to 300. And, but it never seems that way because our gardens, people are coming and going all day long.
We went to Buckingham Palace, and I've gone twice now, and the coolest part really wasn't, and you see the Rembrandt, you've been there, haven't you?
Oh, sure, yes.
You see the Rembrandts on the wall and all
Right.
that, and it blows you away when you look up and realize there's priceless stuff.
without a doubt.
But when you go and see the gardens, and you truly go and see the royal gardens, I'm telling you what, that is still, I remember the first time I saw them like it was yesterday, because it just connects to you.
Oh, yeah, and they're beautiful. I mean, you appreciate that.
Well, and Ginny, before we take a quick break and come back and talk to you, I'm keeping you longer than I told
That's
you I would.
okay.
I wanted to ask you about this. On the tour, do people get surprised by the amount of beauty you have in North County and throughout St. Louis? Because here we are always talking about, Pride Incorporated's our big beautification group that's really doing a lot of great things to recognize homeowners and taking care of their property.
It's great.
But we always think about the bad around Metro East with the potholes and tall weeds but there are a lot of beautiful properties.
Oh, without a doubt. And I think that people are surprised.
Yeah.
Because, I happen to live in an area that's unincorporated, St. Louis County. But we only have 25 homes and 50 acres of common ground. And people this is like the best kept secret ever. And I think that's what from the road you couldn't see, but when you walk down and you see a garden and you see the fish and everything, people are pretty surprised. And it's true of many of these. You don't see it from the road. You see a lovely home, and some of our homes on tour are fabulous. They are fabulous. It's behind that, behind those homes is where sometimes you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's pretty spectacular.
Well, whenever we talked about Palatine, I always thought, because I've talked to so many people that are so have so much pride in where they live.
Sure.
And when someone says, oh no, you'd never even know what's there. It's so beautiful.
Right.
And I went, I always take it with, okay, I'm sure it looks nice. But when you drive over about literally 10 minutes down the road and realize there's sprawling acres of these rolling hills in North County, it is mind-blowing. And it just shows you that we really don't know that much about the landscape around us.
And we don't. And when I first moved there, we were driving through cornfields.
Were you really?
It was just all farmland.
Wow.
And I know that makes me sound old, but it's not that way.
All orchards as far as we can see.
But it was farmland. But, and then everything gets kind of grown up, and we had some wonderful, places where you could buy fresh produce and stuff. So, things have changed, and the landscape always changes. But there are still beautiful areas, and they're all over, not just in North County, but South County and West as well.
Absolutely, and in Illinois, too. Hey, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with Ginny Mueller, and we're going to talk more about Pond-O-Rama hitting you June 22nd and 23rd from 9 to 5 p.m., and you aren't working that day, so Dolly Parton can't sing the song. You can visit slwgs.org. Get your tickets now, and we'll come back with more. Get over here right after this.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone, and over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Dream Home Realty Center.
Hey Sherry, talk to me, Dream Team. We've got showing.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. That never happens, by the way. 9:38. Welcome back to our day. You know, if people could hear what I say during the break, I think I'd make a lot more news in the St. Louis area. 24th annual Pond-O-Rama hitting you in the nose June 22nd and 23rd, 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. And now, what are some of the sights and sounds of a few of the gardens, if you could tease us a bit?
Well, that's what I thought I would mention, too, because there's 2 over in Illinois.
I'm a talk show host and part-time mind reader.
That's right. There's one in Millstadt, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Which they were on tour probably gazillion years ago, and so they were so excited to be on tour. They asked to be on tour last year, way back when. So that's really great. And I haven't seen theirs yet because I haven't been there. But then there's another one in O'Fallon, Illinois. And that's a lovely, beautifully landscaped stream and pond, and it's all shaded, and it's just a lovely area. He's a contractor. So those 2 are over in Illinois, and we always are looking for people over in Illinois because, people come from, Illinois to check those out. We've got quite a few people in Kirkwood this year. There's a gentleman in St. Peters that has trains running around his pond, which is always a cool thing.
Like actual trains, like a model train?
Yes, and he has all these fantastically lovely model buildings that are like little stores and things.
Not to cut you off, Jerry West just died, the NBA legend. That's kind of breaking news. That just came through our AP wire. My phone just dinged. So if you're tuning in, Jerry West just died. I'm sorry.
No.
For our sports people out there. The O'Fallon location I finally found before you go further. This is beautiful in O'Fallon. That's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Sorry for cutting you off.
And so the one gentleman has trains running through his pond, which is great. We have some people in Manchester, 2 in Florissant, of course, and they're in the same subdivision, so it's really close. There's a couple. There's a couple in Winfield, which is a pretty far distance. However, it is really unique, and you drive through the cornfields, and they have this lovely pond. They've converted into a little, silo into a bar or something.
That's cool.
And I mean, they have these darling little houses that you can actually go in with tons of antiques, and they're so creative. We've got a couple in Fenton, one in Union, Missouri, Sunset Hills, Warson Woods, and St. Louis, downtown even, a small, beautiful pond in Lafayette Square. So they're all over our metro area, and all of these are members. Some have designed their own ponds and built them, and others have had contractors build the ponds. But then our members actually do a lot of the landscaping, and they tweak it and add all of the things that make it unique to their location.
Well, and just going through the booklet, and I mean, the booklet's worth the price of admission alone.
Is.
I mean, you go into an expo somewhere, they're going to charge you $20 just to have one of these. And, I'm looking, and everything has its own unique twist.
Yes.
You aren't going to see 2 of the same garden on this tour.
Oh, no, not at all.
And what I think's cool is that they all have different locations in their yard. It's not the same, everyone's just putting it smack dab in the middle. There's, some really unique spins on how this was accomplished.
Yeah, one gentleman has a pondless waterfall in his front yard, and then he has a little pond in the backyard.
Yeah.
So you kind of walk through, and, he has native plants as well as, fish. And so everybody is such a different location, but you learn so much from everybody. Yeah. And it really is a fun tour. Even if you don't want to, build a pond, or you're not thinking about it, it's a lovely day to just stroll through the gardens. Our hosts are welcoming. They usually have water. It's always hot.
Yes,
it's always hot in June. So they're always welcoming, and I think that's what makes this tour fun. We're not selling anything, and it's really a community event. It's an event for the community.
I wanted to ask you this. I was seeing one of the pictures, and it seems like one of the individuals put fishing line over their pond.
Right.
What is that detour?
Well, it detours the herons that want to come sit that sit on the corner of the pond and pluck in, and people have lost fish to the herons. And actually, when I got the new fish, the gentleman that was taking care of my pond actually did do that to my pond.
Did he?
But I don't have herons. I have mink, and mink can go right underneath those. So,
Oh, no.
but which we hope not. But in the summer, that's the thing. The summer, the fish are always active.
Right.
So they're moving around. It's a lot different than in the fall when, the water's cool and they kind of are much slower.
I wanted to ask you, do you do the fish in the pond? I'm sure you still have to feed them, but do they feed off some of the plant life that's in?
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, once people in the winter, like I cage my fish in early fall and I'll release them in the spring. We cage and net them, and I don't feed them until then. And they're just happy because they get all that algae and all the stuff that,
Really cool.
they can. So, yeah.
Huh. Well, there you go. I'm learning something today. Well, and as I was thinking about this, and this is a stupid question that kind of came to my
No
head.
questions.
Is there any non-motorized or non-pumped waterfalls that you guys have seen, like that, or they're basically are self-recycling to where it comes down and the way it's landscaped or the way it's dug out, it just keeps
Right.
cycling forever?
I think there's a couple people that have pondless waterfalls.
Whoa.
And what they say is that, and it's exactly right, it just recycles the water. They can actually turn it off remotely. So you could, if you don't want your waterfall running, you just turn it off because you don't have to worry about fish. So the pondless waterfalls are kind of a cool thing
Yeah.
for easy maintenance, and you still have that wonderful sound of the water that's tranquil and peaceful.
Wonderful. And now you guys are always looking for new members.
Always.
And
yes.
I would love the next time we talk for the 25th, the big 2-5 and the big
yeah.
3-5 of the totality of the Water Garden Society. I would love to have a couple of Alton ponds right here, because you drive up State Street, and I'm telling you, you go into Fairmont, and you'll be just amazed by some of these, and that means we got to get you guys aboard. So how do we sign up, and when are your meetings?
Okay, the meetings, we have a meeting the third Tuesday of the month. Right now it's at the Kirkwood Community Center.
Okay.
They're renovating, so, that's always changing.
Kirkwood's kind of bumping right now. There's some stuff going on down
Well,
there.
and it's centrally located.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing. We used to be down at the Botanical Garden, and then they renovated, and so, we had to do a little shift. However, in the ticket booklet, on page 3, you can join free membership through the rest of the year. So all you have to do is sign up and send it in. And you can come to all the meetings, all the events. We have a wonderful banquet in August at the Jewel Box, that's
You guys
where
did
all
that.
of our lilies, and they're fantastic. Of course, they're beautiful now. You can look on the website and see all of that. But and then in January we have the renewal of our membership, and it's $15 per year.
You can't beat that.
It's a great deal.
And the camaraderie is there, so we're going to link all of that. And what I'm going to do is, for the next couple of months at least, I'll make sure that the meetings are in our community calendar, so if anyone in Illinois wants to learn more, they
Perfect.
can find out there.
And everyone's always welcome to come to our meetings,
Yeah.
whether you're a member or not. July we'll have an ice cream social. This coming Tuesday we have a gentleman talking about perennials. The new perennials in your
Ooh.
garden, so all the new good stuff.
Well, Ginny, and it's always fun talking to you.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure.
And
Thank
I
you, CJ.
kept you way too long, but I just, always like having you in
fun.
studio. The St. Louis Water Garden Society is gearing up for their 24th annual Pond-O-Rama tour. This is in a couple of locations in Millstadt and O'Fallon on the Illinois side and throughout every portion of the St. Louis
Definitely.
Metro East. You can have some fun on June the 22nd through the 23rd, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. both days. 2-day tickets, $20 per person. You get this amazing booklet plus some opportunities to learn about some local contractors, local businesses that could help you perfect your water garden. Now, have you heard about this yet? Have I told you about this company that makes these solar energy pergolas?
No.
So this is cool. They're called Grid Solar, and one of the things they do is pergolas. And they can make this beautiful pergola that has amazing light systems and all of that, all running on solar energy, and that's just an add-on to their blueprint. Are you ready to join the growing number of homeowners and businesses who are turning to solar energy? Solar power is not only eco-friendly, but it could also potentially be a wise investment that pays off in the long run. With Grid Solar LLC, they serve St. Louis, they serve Missouri and Illinois both. They customize solar solutions. So it's cool. You go to their website and you fill out the form that says customize my outfit. And it does. I mean, it takes you through right the solar outfit. So listen, folks, solar energy is clean, renewable, and more accessible than ever. And you can visit GridSolarLLC.com to learn more about their services and request that free solar design. Let Grid Solar harness the power of the sun and let you enjoy the many benefits that solar energy can provide. That's GridSolarLLC.com.